On December 4, 1872, in the quiet, seemingly endless waters of the Atlantic, a British vessel, the Dei Grazia, spotted something unnerving. It was the American merchant brigantine, the Mary Celeste. She was a picture of nautical perfection, sails partially set, gliding smoothly, looking as though she were merely waiting for the slightest breeze. No distress signal, no visible damage. But this calmness was deceiving. For over 150 years, this enigma has fueled the darkest theories: pirates, giant sea monsters, even the supernatural claim that the ship was a victim of the Bermuda Triangle. But what if the chilling truth is more grounded, more tragic? What if the Mary Celeste isn't a ghost ship, but a catastrophic example of human error, a tragic sequence of failures that allowed a manageable emergency to become a legend? For over 150 years, this enigma has fueled the darkest theories: pirates, giant sea monsters, even the supernatural claim that the ship was a victim of the Bermuda Triangle. But what if the chilling truth is more grounded, more tragic? What if the Mary Celeste isn't a ghost ship, but a catastrophic example of human error, a tragic sequence of failures that allowed a manageable emergency to become a legend? Welcome to the Failure Index. We refuse to settle for the fantastical. We will deconstruct this mystery, not with whispers and superstitions, but with forensic evidence, naval expertise, and a sharp dose of psychological reality. The Mary Celeste wasn't claimed by the sea's dark magic. Her crew was lost to a precise, avoidable cascade of mistakes. The mystery of the Mary Celeste is, fundamentally, a case file in psychological failure. We must ask, why would an experienced captain abandon a perfectly good, seaworthy ship? The answer lies in the total collapse of rational thought. We will analyze the perceived threats, the breakdown of command, and the three fatal decisions that created one of history's most enduring nautical enigmas. The crucial piece of evidence is the cargo. The Mary Celeste was carrying 1,701 barrels of raw, industrial alcohol. In 1872, shipbuilding technology was rudimentary, barrels were not perfectly sealed. The decks creaked, the wood swelled, and the heat began to do its deadly work. As the ship moved into warmer latitudes, the temperatures rose. Pressure built inside those massive wooden casks. The alcohol began to vaporize. Now, the cargo wasn't explosive in the sense of dynamite, but it could certainly fume, and violently. The slightest spark could ignite a huge, fiery blast of alcohol vapor. Imagine Captain Benjamin Briggs. A cautious, religious man, with his wife and young daughter on board. He's below deck, and he smells it, strong, sickening alcohol fumes. He hears the creaking and groaning of the timber, amplified by the pressure. The only logical conclusion for a man of that era: the ship is about to explode. Evidence suggests one of the main hatches was, in fact, slightly disturbed, maybe blown open by a burst of pressurized gas from the hold. This would have released a visible cloud of vapor onto the deck, a white, ghostly mist. For Captain Briggs, this was not gas, this was the smoke of a ticking time bomb. This was the immediate, physiological trigger for the first, fatal error. This danger, this cloud of vapor that promised a devastating explosion, forced a rational, cautious man to instantly discard all naval training. Why stay and risk everything? Captain Briggs, paralyzed by the fear of losing his family in a violent, fiery instant, made a snap decision. A decision rooted in terror, that sealed the fate of the entire crew. Facing what he believed was imminent, fiery death, Captain Briggs gave the order, "Abandon ship." He forced everyone into the small lifeboat. This wasn't an orderly, calm evacuation. It was an avoidable failure, a panic command based entirely on misinterpretation, amplified by his personal responsibilities. Briggs did not plan to desert the ship, he planned to survive its imminent destruction. They took the log and the sextant, preparing to return after the danger passed. His primary goal was to get everyone away, fast, and simply wait for the explosion. Here's where the final, fatal failure occurred, the flawed contingency plan. Captain Briggs tied the yawl to the Mary Celeste with a 200. The intent was clear: stay near the ship, wait, then reboard. But he made a crucial series of avoidable miscalculations. First, the weather. While the Dei Grazia later found the ship in calm seas, log entries from nearby vessels indicate a sudden, violent squall swept through the area precisely when the crew would have been clinging to that thin lifeline. A sudden rogue wave, an unpredictable gust of wind, and that thin tow line, already weakened by stress, would have snapped instantly. This sudden meteorological shift, combined with the fragile connection, sealed their fate. The line snapped. The crew was now truly alone, adrift on the vastness of the ocean. Their planned lifeline became a rope to nowhere. Second, the ship itself. The Mary Celeste, with her sails partially set, was slowly, steadily moving, propelled by the breeze. The yawl, meanwhile, was instantly at the mercy of the wind and current. Once the line snapped, the distance between the two vessels would have rapidly increased. The crew, stranded in their small yawl, would have watched their beautiful ship, their only hope, drift away. They were powerless, unable to do anything but stare as the Mary Celeste disappeared over the horizon. They were left to the mercy of the open sea, perishing from exposure, thirst, or capsizing. The Mary Celeste isn't a ghost story, it's a profound tragedy of psychological failure. Failure number 1, the captain's initial misinterpretation of a perceived threat, alcohol fumes, as an immediate, catastrophic explosion. Failure number 2, the resulting panic command to abandon the ship prematurely. Failure number 3, the fatal miscalculation in tying the lifeboat to the ship with an inadequate line, underestimating the ocean's power. The crew didn't disappear into thin air. They were claimed by a terrifying sequence of avoidable human errors, amplified by the raw, indifferent power of the ocean. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes, the greatest mysteries are simply the logical consequences of understandable, yet ultimately fatal, human mistakes. Subscribe to the Failure Index. Next time, we'll deconstruct another case where human decisions shaped destiny.